You guys, you all look miserable.
Welcome once again to another edition of Geek Culture Congress. I am one of your hosts, always Louis Speedy Jr. Gonzalez, accompanied by Mr. Joey Franchise and Mr. Tarek Lewis. How you guys doing today?
Oh, I'm zerked up, man.
Yeah.
Man, the allergies got you.
Fighting allergies, bro.
I saw that debris and bushes and trees laying around everywhere you drive down.
Me. And I'm all around that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, you hear a lot of that sniffles.
Yeah, it's been hell on everybody, man.
You know what I mean? Drug free though, you know what I mean? Don't let the sniffles for the audio, the people listening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Geek Culture Congress. We are fresh off of New York Comic-Con. All the announcements that happened in New York Comic-Con this year, man. I need to go to a New York Comic-Con, man. you down for it, Joey?
I went 1 year. I went actually the first year it came out.
Yeah.
It was actually really nice. It was at the convention center out there. That was right in the city, and man, it was a great time. It was the first one, so nothing crazy, like mind blowing. There was a few people from like Walking Dead, I guess, there, because they were promoting one of the seasons, and that's when it was like really, really popular at the time.
It's not very Hollywoody. Sometimes it can be.
I did see Vern Troyer there one time.
Yeah. But it's taken a different turn. Like it seems like James Gunn has used it kind of as his platform to kind of be not in the line of fire of anything Marvel or anything bigger than him that happens at San Diego Comic-Con. So it seems like he's jumped on the New York Comic-Con to kind of like get his marketing for DC across a little better. So he dropped a new trailer for Creature Commandos. Which is actually pretty dope. Did you guys check it out?
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. What's your take on it? Suicide Squad Light? Monster Man Suicide Squad?
I'm surprisingly impressed with it.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think it actually came out pretty good. I was not excited about this, but now I can see very, very, very entertained.
Oh, okay.
Watch like Kite Man and all that stuff they have on there, on HBO, but it seems like kind of in that vein. The Harley Quinn show, which I haven't watched. Forgive me for my nerddom. I haven't watched it, but this one seems pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's funny.
Yeah, it looks good. The trailer really has me, and you know me, I'm not like really huge on the cartoon side of things, but this is something I'm intrigued by. Looking forward to watching. It's the beginning of James Gunn's DCU. And this cartoon will tie into live action stuff, like he said. So I'm all in on it. I think
flag. You found yourself in the middle.
There you go.
I didn't mean to. I wanted to play in the background.
I wish I knew that. I wish I had the heads up. But yeah, like the way it looks is just great, man. Whoever's animating, he's using for animation is very on point with stuff that you see with Invincible. It's kind of around that same tone. I feel like there's more detail in the characters. But yeah, look at that.
Yeah, pretty
they
fun.
let you know right off the rip.
That's good stuff. But yeah, this gives off Suicide Squad diet stuff. But it's cool that they're using the monsters aspect, and that's the first chapter of his DCU. Is I think was it Monsters and Heroes or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, you get Viola Davis coming back as Waller. Weasel's back. That's really dope. And it's good. They're gonna save money, not doing a live action version of this because it probably costs with the characters that use it. That's probably gonna cost a pretty penny.
Oh yeah, no, it's not gonna be cheap.
But GI Robot. I'm not familiar with a lot of these monsters. I ain't gonna hold
me
you.
Me neither.
At all.
Which is
GI Robot might be a good thing. Definitely a new addition to me.
Yeah, might be a good thing. What do you think about that, Tarek? There's no backstory canon they gotta hold on for sweaties.
I think that everything that DC has to do has to be fresh now. Like it can't be. We're getting Superman, of course, which I'm sure we'll talk about, but they gotta freshen everything up. And I think we'll get to the point with DC where I'm not worried about universes. Mm-hmm. I want them to put out something good and entertaining. And of course, we'll talk about the Penguin. That's been entertaining.
Oh yeah.
And Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths, not as entertaining, but
they try.
Just looks like it'll be entertaining. And like I said, the animated stuff has always been DC's wheelhouse, where they surpassed Marvel.
Yeah.
So I'm here for this
straight Max only show,
which is good.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're gonna break eggs on your first go round and build and story build your universe, I mean, why not break eggs with some characters that people are not familiar with, mixed with some that they are? I mean,
right.
Even though it's Rick Flagg's dad, right? It's
right.
Rick Flagg's dad.
Yeah, Rick Flagg's dad. Which apparently that's the direction they're gonna go. Even with what's that? Peacemaker season 2. They're gonna go with like the Rick Flagg's dad. And his son died. That made him come out of retirement.
That's smart. That's actually
with that twist. Yeah,
that's a pretty cool twist. So with that, and you have Amanda Waller, and everybody's familiar with Viola Davis, and I think she does a solid job in that role. Mixed with some characters they know, like man, none of us are really that familiar with, but they are packaging it well. They're using their strong strong suit, which is, like Tarek said, animation, and I think that's how they can win in this scenario. Not that like the battle's kind of on even ground at this point with the lackluster Marvel stuff going on, but
Right.
I mean, this is a good first attempt. Well, it looks like a good first attempt right now for James Gunn, and I'm excited to see what this holds.
Yeah. Another
And speaking of James Gunn doing the New York stuff, like I would say from the comedy world, there's like a thing of like New York comedians and LA comedians.
Yeah.
And
A little beef.
New York is supposed to be more like open to like grimy, darker fare.
Yeah.
So or anything, Gotham is based off of New York, So that whole East Coast, like grimy cityscape. So it makes sense for, if that's the path they're going to go with their movies, for it to be, focused on in New York. And I agree. Also, like, let me dodge all the all the press coming out of
the big one. I mean, how are you going to compete with Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom announcement?
Yeah, that's hard. That's a hard one to go up against. You can't go Creature Commandos against. Doom, bro. Like that's not going.
Like, what are you doing?
And he literally sat there and really just fielded questions. You know what I mean? Like he was in the panel.
Yeah,
hard. Like
it's like being introduced after Steph Curry on the basketball team. Like, Steph Curry, and then you're like, it's Sean Livingston, and you're like, all right, well.
look at who was sitting in the waiting room. Mr. Rich Ortiz is here. He's plugging in things right now.
His Batman mask. This is the first time I've seen the Batman mask behind him, which I'm assuming that's what he was doing before he got here.
Right, probably.
He was Batmaning.
Oh, okay.
Is he gonna put that on?
He's got to do something else secret right now, real quick, before he officially joins the show. For all you guys on the audio only version of this. Sorry. So yeah, we're going through everything that got announced. New York Comic Con.
I was gonna say really quick. Speaking of like following, I saw an interesting clip of Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Talking about his trailer dropping.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, I was mad at Robert Downey Jr. because I dropped my trailer, and then right after Doomsday, and all that, he's like, yo, he's like, how am I supposed to compete? Like, I didn't get to have my moment, like I'm Captain America now. I didn't get to have my moment, and then you drop. I can't compete with that. That's not fair. So I like how they have the Marvel cast has fun with each other.
They do. So we on all these New York Comic-Con announcements, Rich, and we don't hear you, bro. I don't know, bro. You gotta switch your device. Switch your device to the put up.
He's rushing, man. He's fresh off the jet, sharper than the Gillette. He can't.
What else was announced? That Dune Prophecy TV show we talked about here. They dropped another trailer. The 10,000 years before Paul Atreides show. Seems like it's gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's dope. Like I'm glad that he's made Dune a thing and really sparked up that fan base. With these past two movies, I mean, it looks pretty solid. I mean, you got to watch this one. Like this is good. Like again, good world building. I thought he did great with the last two movies.
Yeah. It's HBO though too, so it's gonna be. Yeah. I mean, HBO hasn't dropped the ball. HBO be slapping.
They don't drop the ball when it comes to series, bro. They know how to put good series together, dog.
I can't. It takes me really hard to think about something that HBO sucked, except for maybe the last season of Game of Thrones. Maybe not really. It was entertaining, even though it was not what maybe fans
expected. Yeah, they didn't expect that.
Help me out, Tarek. What was really bad in HBO? HBO produced and bad.
I don't know if there may have been things that weren't for people. Like I know a lot of people didn't watch Raised by Wolves.
Yeah, I'm talking about critically and watcher and and consumer.
Both
bad. Yeah, I mean
HBO hasn't really missed, man.
Like bad,
when they roll off those Emmy nominations HBO has, it's legit.
Yeah, they slap.
It's legit. I would argue HBO is the platform that launched like a lot of other like, okay, well, AMC, we're going to do our own shows.
Right.
Where cable shows started winning awards, you know, like it used to be when we were younger, we could like network shows won all the awards. HBO kind of launched like with The Sopranos, The Wire,
right?
You know, the 6 Feet Under. They kind of launched the idea.
It was the
of, like,
premier TV channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the pay for television shows can compete and win Emmys and whatnot. So I think sometimes like Dune is Dune, and it's going to have a fan base. It's a very narrow fan base for Dune still, even though the movies were good, the past two at least. But it's on HBO. I think a lot of people will give it a shot just because it's on HBO.
Yeah.
And if you're paying the money, you might as well give it a shot. And I haven't seen them miss.
Yeah, they don't miss it, and I really feel like they pioneered the quality in you know, premiere TV series. You know, like I was never an episode guy. You know, after growing out of watching like cartoons and like my like drama soap opera novela was watching X-Men Saturday mornings. You know what I mean? Right. And then when you go out of that phase, it just kind of like when I grew out of that phase, it was just like hard to me to sit down and really commit to seasons of a TV show like Seinfeld, Friends, you know, things like, you know, I'd watch them sporadically, but I'd never be fully invested. I think HBO, when I got introduced to HBO, I think Entourage was the first show that really got me hooked into really dedicating myself and watching seasons and episodes and really, you know, being there at 9 p.m. to sit there and watch the new episode. And it trickled from that to like going on Showtime to watching Weeds, going to, you know, I watched Hung on HBO. Like, you know, I went back and watched Sopranos. So like I started committing myself to more to more series like that, because I think HBO, even I also mentioned Showtime too, which also kind of was in that, you know, realm at the time as well. They really like honed in and really put solid storytelling, great cliffhangers at the end of their episodes, and really had me hang on.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us didn't know about Game of Thrones until HBO? When that came out, I was like, what is this? Like, why are they making a Lord of the Rings spinoff show? And then I didn't know about that whole lore. I ended up reading all the books, and now I'm watching House of Dragon. You know, we got Spartacus. It's not a spinoff of Game of Thrones, but Spartacus, Black Sails, like these big epic television things,
right?
Kind of stem from HBO. They're not sponsoring us, so maybe we should stop riding them.
Yeah,
but, you know,
we're just riding. Yeah.
The check, man.
Rich, you connected?
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right, yeah.
We want to know how you feel about the Creature Commandos trailer and Dune stuff.
So you guys were just talking about Dune, so I'll get into that one.
All right.
You guys sound like you're hating on it, but I'm actually on the opposite side. I have so many questions about the whole Dune like lore. I have questions about the Atreides lineage. I have questions about those witches, where they come from, how they play into the whole like
it's a show
galaxy.
for you, definitely.
Yeah, so like there's so many things, because I like Dune so much. I want to know the whole prophecy about Lisan al-Gaib and everything like that. And I mean, I like you guys were saying, HBO doesn't miss, bro. I mean, with Penguin 2 and how well they're doing right now, it kind of makes me excited to see another HBO show. But not even just that, but to go in a little bit deeper into what Dune is, because Dune was such a hit this past time. So I'm excited to see it. I don't know about you guys.
Excited. I'm excited to try it out, at least. You know, definitely gonna give it a try out. Spider-Man 2 PC officially announced with January release date. No additional story content planned, so all you PC users be able to get to play Marvel Spider-Man 2 on the PC. Yeah,
I know there's gonna be a lot of mods.
Well, probably.
Yeah.
You know,
kind of wild mods you're gonna see on socials.
So they dropped, I guess, the opening 7 minutes of Kraven the Hunter. There you
Word.
go.
Did it?
And the director sees the inclusion of more Marvel characters, which I don't know what that means. Yeah. The footage that was shown in the room featured Kraven going on a human hunt in a prison, and one person in attendance described it as grounded, violent, charismatic work, speaking Russian, and a bunch of guards with AIM, or with the organization AIM, I guess. Alongside the
really?
Alongside the footage, Chandor, which is interesting. Alongside the footage, Chandor appeared to tease that more Marvel characters will pop up beyond Kraven and Rhino, saying, "We built some set pieces and some action pieces that I'm super proud of. It's not just Kraven." I think they might do like a Silver Sable, some Spider-Man stuff. Spider-Man adjacent characters.
They just need to stop it with save the I was about to call Venom 3 Save the Last Dance.
Most importantly, hey, what's up? What's going on, Socks? How you doing, my friend?
Man,
Save the Last Dance. The Venom edition.
Listen, if
apparently
no one's I'm going to see Kraven because I think Aaron Taylor Johnson is getting a raw deal, like in this whole comic book world, because he's been Kraven now, and then he was Quicksilver, and he wasn't a bad Quicksilver, but he gets one film as Quicksilver, and then Homeboy comes in Days of Future Past and in X-Men Apocalypse, and is like spot in a lot of those films,
right?
As Quicksilver, and then he's in WandaVision as Quicksilver, and this dude's been in like he's getting a raw deal. Like he needs an opportunity. I don't think this is it. The opportunity, but hopefully in a multiverse, he gets his opportunity. We'll see.
Apparently,
there's no hype behind this movie. I'm not sure how much they spent on it, but it could be. The best bet is to be a surprising hit, a surprisingly well-reviewed, maybe not monetary hit, but like a surprisingly well-reviewed film. That is like the best they can hope for. Monetarily, it's not gonna,
Yeah, Tarek, you're usually the one that I look forward to hate on movies like this, because honestly, I think this is just gonna be another Morbius.
We didn't get a screener for Venom because of Tarek. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like another Madam Web, dog. Honestly, Kraven. But like
it was me that reviewed Madam Web, so I gotta own that one.
Yeah.
Was it me that reviewed Madam Web?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I got a target on my back now from Sony. Tarek's got Warner Brothers because he dissed the Fantastic Beasts Part 2.
I dogged Fantastic Beasts, but I saw Flash and I gave it reasonable things. That was probably a bad decision at that time.
It wasn't bad.
Dude, people hate on Flash so much. Like Flash wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't.
People hate on it because of Ezra Miller. Like, I feel like the dude can't win.
So y'all going to see Kraven? Or is that a first weekend view?
I'll watch it.
I'm skipping that one, bro. Y'all tell me about it.
I'll watch it.
Y'all tell me about it like I did.
Listen, if it's as bad as Joker Part 2, it will be
Joker Part 2.
It'll be on digital within the month of its release.
I'm still with the Joker 2. Y'all tell me about it. I ain't seeing it.
Doesn't that blow your mind? Like you're like, hey, I might just go see that in the theater. And you pop on your Fire Stick or Roku or whatever, and it's like available right now on digital. You're like, damn.
Or coming soon next Thursday.
Dude, it's in the movie right now, and it's going to be available on digital on October 29th, brother.
Yeah. Let's keep it going with let's keep it going with the New York Comic Con stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep it going with the New York Comic Con stuff. Daredevil Born Again. We got an official March 2025 release date, March 4th, 2025. Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox been doing the Comic Con circuit. They were in Tampa. We got the video from them.
Mad as hell I still didn't get that meet and greet.
Yeah, man. They've been promoting hard, man. They've been pushing it. You know what that tells me? That tells me that they're really proud of what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good sign.
Or they have a contractual obligation. You're one of the two.
But I don't know. But they've been doing a lot of Comic Cons. I mean, come on, bro. If you look at their schedule, you're like, dang, bro, they're actually doing. It seems like they're doing a lot. You know.
I for one have been a fan of Vincent D'Onofrio. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Since Full Metal Jacket.
Vincent D'Onofrio
back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Vincent
He's a New
D'Onofrio,
Yorker too, so he's a New Yorker, so it was really easy for him to pop into New York Comic Con.
Yeah. And another show that goes under the radar is Echo, which wasn't bad.
No, it
Yeah,
wasn't
I
bad.
liked it.
It wasn't bad.
I didn't care for the ending too much. I thought it was a little,
Right.
little
What a
contrived.
decent, solid show. But again, he stood out in that. He stood out in Hawk.
Mhm.
I love the Daredevil series. I only thought Punisher was a better.
Mhm.
But all of those Netflix series I liked. So I'm hoping to continue that same flow. Like, don't She-Hulk this for me. Like,
Yeah, please.
I want the same grimy that I got in the Netflix series. Hopefully,
I didn't hear what you said about Punisher. What did you say about Punisher? It cut out for me.
Punisher was my favorite Marvel Netflix series,
Okay.
and
I like that
Daredevil
show.
was like, but I like them all.
It's just
I like
season 2. Daredevil season 1 is good, and then when season 2 comes, this is like, whoa, like they just whoa. They say, oh, you like that? Let's do more.
Yeah.
And they honestly turned it up even more when
Yeah,
Punisher got involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just so
When who
perfect.
got involved?
You're right.
When Punisher got involved in Daredevil,
Oh, yeah.
that's when that show kind of took off for me. I mean, I thought it was good in the first season. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, no,
I
that
think
second
that
season just goes to a very high level.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, and they really like went into it with the whole like, was that rated R? Because honestly, like I feel like
it was on Netflix, so I guess didn't matter. I don't know.
It had to have been.
Yeah.
It felt violent.
Well, this is definitely TVMA on Disney Plus, so let's see what they do.
Yeah.
Let's
And
see.
I was concerned because of that little walk of shame Daredevil did in She-Hulk. I was like, oh,
that was
please
terrible. Nasty work.
Right.
Nasty work. So.
Let's see. Make sure show. There's some comic book announcements. They did Hush. They're gonna do a Hush sequel for comic book, which is interesting. What else? Let's see. I'm digging here, but I think that was the main. Oh yeah. Of course, James Gunn's Peacemaker is gonna get a comic book spinoff. Let's see what else. They've been running with a lot of the Justice League versus Godzilla and Kong.
Did he announce like a vigilante show or something like that?
No, it was it's a comic book.
Oh, okay.
Comic book spinoff for Vigilante. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Which is cool.
I'm
It's
gonna
based on
make
the
it a
show.
goal. I think I'm gonna try to go to the New York Comic Con next year.
Yeah. Me too. I think I want to do it. I want to go.
That's not a
I
hard
definitely
one
want
for
to
me
go
to
to San
do.
Diego.
I can make that.
We should put in some media stuff. You know what I mean?
can we get a Geek Culture Congress field trip?
I don't know.
Man.
We need a manager.
We're
bro.
real
That's what
tough.
we need.
Oh, we
Socks,
need to
you
get
wanna
a
be our
manager.
Yeah.
Socks, you want to be our
Rick,
manager,
if you-
Socks? We need you to.
Rich, if you show him that Puerto Rican shield, we'll be in.
Let's
Got
see.
you,
Marvel
Puerto
Comics
Rico,
reveals
dog.
Star Wars
One
Jedi Knight
star.
series set
Smells
before
like
the
South
Phantom
Bronx.
Menace. So they're gonna have a comic book, a Star Wars Jedi comic book set before the Phantom Menace. It's gonna have a lot of Count Dooku, pre-Sith action, stuff like that.
Did you guys hear that that Agatha is ranked even like beneath the Acolyte? I don't know how true that is. Less views than the Acolyte.
Beneath
Who?
that? That's crazy.
Who,
Yes.
Agatha?
Yeah.
That gotta be wrong because Speedy watched both.
Well, I only watched half of the Acolyte, and I couldn't do it no more. I still to this day haven't finished the show. Still to this day have not finished the show. Hey, Mama Bear, how you doing?
I'm a bear.
Yeah.
I'm a bear. Yeah, it's ranked. It's less views than the Acolyte so far.
Wow. It's
Ugh.
wild.
That's
But,
mad.
Well-
let's get into it now. Now we're talking about it. Let's get into Agatha, the most recent episode. We had a little bit more
This-
juice to it.
Was probably the best episode out of the entire series. Like you could have started the series with this,
Right.
with certain elements from this episode. But I understand the way the story rolls and
Are
why
we-
they had to do
Are
what they did.
we spoiling this or are we just like are we
Oh
tiptoeing?
yeah, we're spoiling it, bro. Like some milk laying in the
Yeah,
fridge.
yeah,
Okay,
spoiler.
yo,
I mean, you haven't watched.
I had no
episode
clue.
Hurricane milk.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna come out and say it. I'm going straight in. No lube, no Diddy.
Yeah.
Yo, I had no clue that Agatha was the daughter of Mephisto.
Is she a daughter of Mephisto? I don't
No,
think
she
so.
sold. They say she
sold her
sacrificed Nicholas
son.
Scratch for to gain
Yeah,
power.
for the Darkhold.
Mephisto.
Yeah.
I don't
This
know.
is vicious rumor. Why are you spreading vicious rumors?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You look very confident about it, Rich. Like you look very confident. I'm curious what you heard because you look confident. You look like nah. Y'all don't know.
I heard, and maybe I just spoiled it for a lot of people, but apparently, Agatha is the daughter of Mephisto.
Okay, well, we seen her mother. That's for sure.
Yeah, she murked her mom.
Yeah. Or where her mom
I've not heard this.
Her mom tried to murk her. She murked everybody.
Yeah.
In the coven.
Yeah.
So this apparently I just googled it. It
is accurate.
It's a valid theory.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. I'll take it. It makes sense that we'll go that way.
You heard it here first, Geek Culture Congress.
It's a valid theory. Yeah.
So we got a little bit more into the team
or some version of Darkheart.
Yeah. So in episode 6, we got into the origins of the teen, which is the son of the Scarlet Witch. One of them that literally jumped into the body of this poor teen right after he died. Yeah.
After the bar mitzvah.
Yeah, after the bar mitzvah even. They were trying to escape. Willie Kaplan's his family, Willie Kaplan's family, and they had a bad accident trying to escape. And Wiccan jumped into.
Just so happened, when the hex was going down.
Yeah. I guess because you can actually listen to what was going on inside the hex by radio and TV. So it makes sense that, like jump kind of like a radio wave, which is how Vision kind of powered up his white body version.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Kind of that way in this TV show. So.
I find this episode so interesting because what it could mean. If you could so that means like I don't know how many episodes we have left, but we're going to be looking. We clearly have Wiccan,
right?
So we're going to be looking for where Speed is.
Yeah, or he's definitely looking for his brother.
Yeah, and what does that mean? And of course we saw the character we thought was Quicksilver.
Right.
I think it opens up a big universe. It's going to make
Ralph Boner.
Boner?
Yeah, Ralph Boner. Yeah,
Boner. We got the Boner back today.
What was it?
Got the Boner back.
Boner 69 was his. What's the name? Was his handle?
Boner came in hard.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah,
good one, Rich. Good form. Good form.
It was a flashback episode. It was a flashback episode and building on the backstory of this new Billy Maximoff version. The Willie Kaplan Billy Maximoff version.
Yeah.
In a very interesting way, and that I'm not really a fan of the flashback, but it was even like as he was going through his life and figuring out who Agatha was and remembering things, as now he's in his new body. I even like the part where he actually finds Agatha and everything that we experienced in episode 1 through the eyes of Agatha being in the spell. We witness it through Billy's eyes, just watching a crazy woman.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it was a different. It put a lot of it into a lot of different contexts. At least the experience of being in a hex or being in a spell like that, or maybe the way they're even traveling on the Witch's Road right now.
I think people are really missing out on this show. I think if the viewership is low, I think they're honestly missing out. And
I'll be honest with you, like I thought it was just gonna be a silly like a hocus pocus thing, and it is kind of in its own way, but it does set up a lot of very intriguing things as far as like things that were kind of started in WandaVision.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
But the thing in WandaVision though, because to me, Dude, they started out that show pretty slow, and it was a slow roast up until like about the third or fourth episode, which is why they had, I think, the first 3 episodes out when they first dropped it, or the first 2.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 episodes, you don't really get a lot of information. You're kind of confused as to what's going on. Then when you actually like catch it, it gets good, and I feel like that kind of happened with Agatha too. First couple of episodes, I'm like, all right, where are they going with this? And now they're actually starting to intertwine where it fits into the whole universe. So, I mean,
you're struggling to find an apartment. Yes,
people hating on it. I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. I find it definitely more, and I'm not trying to compare shows. You know, that's what we're here to do. It's definitely more entertaining than Miss Marvel, and I didn't think Miss Marvel sucked. Miss Marvel's just okay. It's better than that. I don't know. I find it intriguing. I'm not saying I wait up,
right,
or wake up early to watch Agatha so no one spoils it. But
it's true what Annie. It's true what Annie says though. It's the name. All right, it's Agatha.
Yeah.
Who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I don't know that character. Like, if this was called Madam Web, if Agatha was Madam Web, and this was the show, yeah, it would. With the same plot, it would be interesting.
But what if it was just as bad as Agatha?
I really don't like the Agatha All Along name. I hate the Agatha All Along name. Like, you literally have to watch WandaVision to get the Agatha All Along thing.
The hocus pocus, wickedest witch of the West kind of vibe that they wanted to do with it.
But if this theory is true and she is the daughter of Mephisto, then that adds in a little bit of something different, because then it's like, all right, so how does it really fit into this whole, like the whole thing with the Scarlet Witch and the prophecy with Wiccan too? Because we did see like the same thing, how we saw that statue. I don't know, remember what you call it, but how we saw that kind of statuesque thing with the Scarlet Witch. We kind of saw that with Wiccan.
Yes, we did.
You know, in the last episode.
Yeah.
So Wiccan obviously fits into this whole prophecy.
Yeah,
yeah,
also,
definitely.
And there's still, even though like people were kind of upset about the Ralph Bohner getting reintroduced, some people, but I still see it as still an opportunity to play around with the multiverse. I mean, she literally pulled that version and used him in the way that he was Quicksilver for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
and
with
she kind of explains it. There's an episode in WandaVision where she kind of explains that, the other one is dead, so I had to go into the spell more and find a solution to the problem. She kind of says that in some exposition in one of those episodes.
What if Ralph Bohner is the soul of Speed, of Tommy?
Oh, maybe.
No, that's not gonna happen. I think what happens is he goes for looking for Speed in Vision Quest. That's how Vision Quest gets set up.
Yo, Joey shut.
You gotta make me sound like I was disrespecting Rich. I was just trying to help
I'm just saying, the whole thing was like, all right,
yes.
yeah, I feel
that's not a bad. Yo, that's not a bad. But no, that's not a bad
theory.
Prediction.
It's just a theory.
It's not a bad. It's not a
But
bad.
I tell you what, though, Rio pieced out, right? Like she wasn't back at the end of that episode.
Yeah, but to go to Rich's side, because like he didn't go to. I think Wiccan went to Ralph Bohner after he became Billy. So why would he?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Why would Speed, address him about the situation that if he wasn't going through the similar situation?
Right.
Yeah, and he couldn't. Ralph Bohner couldn't be Speed because he was Ralph Bohner while Speed existed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and that would have been what you're saying would have been a better way to give Evan Peters back the Quicksilver character.
Yeah,
but not for nothing. Maybe you should have been in that writing team.
Yeah. I still think it's an idea that they're playing around with as far as multiverse stuff.
That should have been. That would have been.
I think the Bohner thing is going to turn into something.
No,
I'm telling you. But this
I'm gonna help your theory out, Rich. But go ahead.
I'm just saying, if they're gonna introduce mutants, because this whole next phase is supposed to be mutants, right? They're supposed to introduce these mutants. Ralph Bohner maybe he doesn't even realize that he's, Speed yet. Or, maybe there's something different with him and why his soul got transferred into him a different way. I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking
Yeah,
here.
they're gonna play around with something.
They
I'm gonna
maybe
float
should have
something.
saved that meetup with Ralph Boner to give Rich if his theory came to life. They should have probably just saved the Ralph Boner moment for the end and kind of left the tease for Vision Quest and let that be, what it is. You know what I'm saying? And let maybe Speed go on a lookout at the end at some point, finding Vision, so to kind of bring their family together as a unit.
Back together, yeah. I'm gonna float an idea. Maybe that, like, I don't know how comic book accurate they're gonna be. Maybe this is a universe after M Day where Wanda has said in another universe, no more mutants, and some of these people are depowered or don't exist, and that's the world that we've always been watching from Avengers 1 or all those other things to now, is the world that Wanda created when in her world, she said no more mutants, and so that's why we don't have mutants. And when they start merging these worlds, it's like, okay, mutants actually exist, but just in this world, she said no more mutants, and it caused a ripple. That's an opportunity there.
Yeah, it is.
That is an opportunity, and not for nothing. Like, who knows what could happen at the end of this Agatha series, because we have seen, bombshells in some of these Marvel shows. I mean, Miss Marvel introduced mutants pretty much in the MCU, or was one of the ones.
Yeah.
So who knows? That'd be pretty cool.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Excited.
And we saw Spider-Man
episode.
No Way Home or Far From Home. Which was the last one? No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. That when Tom Holland's Peter was like, yeah, the Avengers, and you can see the other Peter's like, who are the Avengers? Like, there's a team. It's like, you've been to space, and it's like all this, so we know that, like, in other worlds, like,
everybody's gone through something different.
Yeah.
He was like, yours comes out of your body?
I think that's the beauty of what is bringing back the anticipation of Marvel films, because it's kind of like, I think a lot of us are excited for Fantastic Four, but when we know not Secret Wars, it's the Secret Wars,
Armored Wars, Secret Wars.
Secret Invasion was the show. Secret Wars.
Oh.
We know Secret Wars is coming, and like, I'm sure hopefully we'll talk about it in the next minute or so. Like, the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths did something that I thought would be very valuable for Marvel.
Okay. But we'll get to it, I promise. But let's talk about another great show that's streaming right now. The Penguin.
The Penguin.
Yes, episode 5 come out, and
I'm not there yet, boys. I'm gonna binge that. How many episodes are we in now?
Oh,
5.
Yeah.
And how many is it supposed to have?
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I'm not
I think
sure.
it's like 9 or 8.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8 episodes.
Yeah, I'm behind. I only seen the first one, but I mean, yeah, I'm a little upset at myself for not catching up. But because I heard it's really,
we won't spoil it too much, all right? It's very, very
well
done. It sets up the big confrontation between Sophia and Penguin and I guess the Maroni.
I don't know if there's anything you can spoil.
Yeah,
it's just great performances. And
it's more of a progression of where you were at the last episode. So it's just,
I felt that. Yeah, I understand. Like the
it's the aftermath of her killing the family and stuff like that. Yeah.
So only 3 more episodes of the Penguin.
I will only definitively spoil one thing. She does put on finally the mink coat, the comic book accurate mink coat for her character, Sophia. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this character at all in the comic books.
Oh, you got to read The Last Halloween and Dark Victory. Go get those on Amazon right now. Go read them, Tarek. They're really good.
Okay. I think I've seen the Last Halloween is on. Isn't that an animated one too?
There's an animated one of it. Yeah, you can watch that one. It's not bad, but the graphic novel is,
the
definitive
it's just
version.
This is an actor's show. This is HBO's attempt at making comic book films that appeal to the Academy, if you will.
Yeah.
No, there's some great performances in there. And again, completely forget that that's Colin Farrell.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that there's a character called the Penguin, you know, like we're from a generation, we're like, yeah, that's stupid. Penguin, you know, like I've kicked, and they make this limp to like where he walks like this penguin, where it's just like, yeah, I can see why they call him the Penguin. And it's a mafioso film.
All right.
It's a mixture of The Wire and Sopranos, and you have an overwhelming feeling that like this is also in the Batman universe.
Right.
The problem is the success of the show is going to pose a problem for how you depict Batman in future films. Because I don't know if you can just erase this. This is so good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can just erase it and say,
no.
That's not the world we're living in.
This world's going to continue no matter what James Gunn does. You know what I mean?
It has to, I think.
Yeah. It's just the presentation of it is just so different, you know?
Yeah.
Especially we're already getting kind of a taste of what James Gunn is kind of going to do with, you know, Creature Commandos, you know. I don't know if this Batman world could live in that world, you know? It just doesn't make sense, you know?
But as Joey has highlighted in our group text, that damn crypto dog.
It's a little silly.
That's whack, man.
You're just being silly, James Gunn. Now you're being silly.
Hey, you know, I'm noticing.
Let's see how it is.
I'm noticing.
Maybe I don't love my dog enough. I don't know.
I'm just noticing James Gunn. If he has anybody that he could throw into his projects, he does. He's put in his wife. Now he's throwing in his dog that he just adopted. You know, next thing is gonna be his gardener at his house.
Nepotism in the dictionary. There's a picture of James Gunn right next to it. Okay.
For real, dog.
His accountant is probably like, if you put me in the film, you can write it off.
If you put the dog in the film, you could pay him, which means you pay yourself.
That's an emotional support. It's an emotional support actor.
Emotional support.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know. Does that exist?
We just made it up.
We just made it up. I need your help with the next thing, Joey. I guess there's an updated release schedule for MCU projects.
That's right.
And what definitely fell off that list is the big ticket title thing that all the nerd channels are talking about. And
Blade.
That's Blade. Yeah, and Blade is off that list. And man, they just couldn't you know, it might be a good thing, Tarek. You know, they just, you know, didn't have anything solid, and they just decided, you know, no, we're not gonna just put out anything. You know,
Wesley Snipes cursed it in Deadpool Wolverine. That's what happened.
Well,
I believe that. I honestly believe that Wesley put his tax reluctant voodoo on this.
So we ain't gonna see no kind of Blade project. But then again, if Blade. So if they're gonna do like the Midnight Suns thing with the Blade characters, and maybe you know, even a Ghost Rider in the future, or whoever else, a Wolverine.
What I think will happen is Blade will end up being a series.
A series,
either a series or one of those presentation joints.
I'll take a presentation joint. There you go. It's like a small movie. It's like a Netflix movie.
Yeah, it's like an hour long.
With it. Yeah. I like the Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, Werewolf by Night was awesome. And then when they dropped it in color, I thought it was even better.
No, I even enjoyed it in black and white.
Well, I did that, but I needed to see the color. I wanted to see like the blood. You know what I mean? I'm that guy.
Werewolf by Night was good. That's another sleeper on the Marvel thing. Werewolf by Night was very entertaining.
Yeah.
They should have kept that like theme kind of going with the Halloween stuff. Oh, well, they did.
As a matter of fact, if they would have shoehorned Werewolf by Night a little bit into Moon Knight, which, you know, he is a character that really belongs to Moon Knight's development.
Listen,
I think it would have been more interesting than the Moon Knight show, but it have been.
If the rumors are true and there's Null going to be appearing in either Venom and or Spider-Man, shoehorning Blade in there as a a cut scene or whatever it is, and doing a parallel of like symbiotes are just vampires. You know what I mean? Like they're just it's just a disease. And then Blade comes in. It's like I had to kill the fucking symbiotes. I don't know. I don't know if that's the way.
They still have to explain that one cutscene at the end though of
Eternals.
Yeah.
I mean, you can retcon that, bro.
Yeah,
like
we're gonna get that. We're gonna get a little bit of that in Brave New World.
They can retcon that if they get to a point where they feel that Blade's not gonna be a thing. I understand, like in the subtitles, it does have like Mahershala Ali credited or Blade pop up on the subtitles. They can easily just because all it is really is a voice. So that person tell him, "Are you ready to to hold that blade, sir?" or whatever the hell he's holding. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be like somebody that's familiar with like the Black Knight's like family or bloodline or whatever the case is.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the schedule right now. So we're in Agatha All Along right now. We got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man animated show. Supposed to debut on Disney Plus by the end of 2024. So maybe we'll get that before Christmas. Eyes of Wakanda, which I'm actually kind of hyped for. We're supposed to get that too before 2024 somehow. And also Marvel Zombies, which has already been, we've seen a little bit of that in the What If already. But it's supposed to be a full show of that universe. Brave New World is in February 14th next year. May 5th, Thunderbolts. I forgot about Daredevil. Didn't update it, but Daredevil's in March. So before that, in between those two, is Daredevil Born Again. We're still waiting on Ironheart. No date for that yet. And then we got Doomsday and Secret Wars. And supposedly in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, we're gonna have Spider-Man 4. And that's it. No quite solid dates for those.
Did you say the dates the 3 dates that were added?
No.
February 18th. They're all entitled films, but February 18th, 2028, May 5th of 28, and November 10th of 28.
That's deep. That's deep in the future, man. That's the
change.
Yeah.
What is is there a Fantastic Four date?
That might be one of the.
Maybe that's what I missed. It is in that's going to be 2025. I think are on the same date as Superman.
That's going to be a good weekend, man.
Yeah,
I think
Fantastic Four is around the same date as Superman.
Yep.
I think they're a week apart.
Yeah, like a week apart.
Wow.
I think at first they were going to go head to head. I don't know if that's still the case, but I think they're going to go. They're in the same month. I know that.
July 25th, 2025. Yeah, sorry. And it was originally supposed to be. We were supposed to get it next month, in November, but they pushed it. Didn't quite have it down yet.
To redo the editing, cuz.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think they're still filming right now.
You got a Sonic the.
Oh, I lost you. I lost you, Terry. I lost you. You muted out.
I'm here. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, cool.
You keep on cutting in and out.
Yeah, that's all good. Let's see what else I want to talk about today before we wrap up the show. Shout out to everyone who's joining us on the live show, of course, and also who's listening to this on the replay or on the audio podcast. We thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're talking about all the news and everything came out of New York Comic Con, and we just talked about the schedule. And Venom is out this weekend, right?
Yeah,
I just cut a commercial for it at work.
I saw that. I'm a little upset. Me or Rich didn't get the endorsement.
Yeah, Rich didn't get it. You didn't get it. Orlando got the money.
Our boss got it. That guy hates comic movies.
Yeah.
He looked at it like what the heck is this?
Yo, he always clowned me. He always clowned me and Rich. The crazy thing is he always clowned me and Rich for like having like nerd alert.
Bro, that's your topic of your whole show tomorrow morning.
Oh, it is. I'm gonna address that because whoever saw that should definitely take a lap around the building. Like, how you not call the 3 biggest geeks in the building to do something?
For real.
Yeah, it's wild, man. That is wild.
Yeah, like Tom Hardy's involved. We're calling the big dogs.
Apparently, there was a screener which we weren't invited to. Venom. This is the Last Dance reviews, and I think it's all over. It's hitting the
Let's go down the Twitter rabbit
the
hole.
Rotten. Let's go down the go down the and I'm go down the Rotten Tomatoes and see if it kind of started. I guess not really.
Oh my gosh!
And what are we hearing?
People really dressed up for this thing, like in some solid.
Well, it seems to be positive. But
All right, so this is Matt
positive in a
Ramos.
weird way. Here you go.
All right, let's go. Matt Ramos at The Real Soups. Venom: The Last Dance isn't just fun; it's the best Venom movie by far. It's the funniest, most emotional, best story, and it takes the silliness we love and fully embraces it full force. They do a lot of cool symbiote stuff, and we couldn't have gotten a better ending to this trilogy than that. Hold on. I think there's more. I had to hit the link to see more. Gotten better and trilogy that also sets up more. Sony cooked, y'all.
So they cooked. Okay. I gotta see it for myself though.
They have two post-credit scenes.
Scenes.
I'm still mad at Sony for what they did to Carnage for me, bro. Honestly, I think Carnage is one of my favorite, not just like symbiote villains, but one of my favorite villains in all of comic books.
And I was so hyped. When they cast Woody Harrelson.
They did him so dirty. They killed him too easily.
Yeah, because Woody Harrelson was the inspiration for the Cletus Cassidy character when they drew the comic book. You know what I mean? So it was like a perfect casting. You know what I mean? Like he was born to play the character. He was the inspiration from what was it? The Killer. What was that Killer show? The movie that came out in the 90s that he was
Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, Natural Born Killers. That was the inspiration for Cletus Cassidy. For that character. Yeah. Woody Harrelson himself. And then when he was cast for it, I was just like, oh man. I mean, it's like more better than that we cannot do. And then it was just, maybe a writing choice or the director choice. It just didn't land. It was well enough, in the middle of the movie, but the end was.
I think we got a negative tweet.
You got a negative? Okay.
At Sean_O'Connell. I think Venom: The Last Dance is the best of the three, while still being incredibly bad. It's bizarre and watchable because it's willing to try anything. Symbiote fish, sure. Miss Chen dance sequence, why not? I laughed a few times, but this trilogy accomplished very little. Sigh.
Okay, I'll take it. That's a good time in the movies for me.
Yeah, with that, if your bad review is just you having a good time at the movies,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's sometimes films are comparative politics, and it's like, we got our bottom films, and it's like, is this better than Madam Web? And it just has to be better than that. You know what I mean? It just has to be better than those two, and better than the last Venom film to close it out. And I think Tom Hardy's a good enough actor where like we'll just enjoy watching him perform and whatever they tease,
Hobby.
Sony and Marvel got to get it together. Like this separate universe stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't.
It's very annoying.
Yeah, but they were trying to tie him in. Like he was in a cutscene. They tried tying him in, and it's like they refused to add in Spider-Man to that universe for some reason.
Yeah. If at the end of this movie you see Spider-Man like swinging somewhere, and there's no like correction, it's gonna be like, okay, now I'm in, but it's the end of the film, So I don't know if that'll help or not. But
I think you can only. I think you've seen Joker 2, right, Tarek?
I have not.
Okay. Anybody seen Joker?
So what do you think, Sox? What do you think is the worst film?
What do you think? I haven't seen Joker 2 yet, so I can't say. But I have.
And Madam Web came out years ago, didn't
multiple
it?
times.
Madam Web
came out last year.
Yeah, last year.
Or this year.
Yeah.
It came out this year, I think.
Yeah, early this year.
Really?
This year.
Well, like
this is why we didn't get that Venom screener.
That's why we didn't get screening.
It's my fault.
I feel like Madam Web's been out for a minute.
February 14th, 2024.
I can't believe I own that movie.
Why do you own it?
Well, my girl wanted to watch it, and instead of renting it, she accidentally bought it.
For like
it made
$15.
It made just over its budget. Its budget was 100 million. It made 100.5 million.
Yeah, they got 5 million. Look at that. My wife be simping for Madam Web.
The only thing good about Madam Web was Sydney Sweeney. That was it.
And even she wasn't even that good.
And she wasn't that great. And even what's the other girl, Isabel Merced?
Yeah,
she's bad too. She gonna be hot girl.
Look at it. Socks didn't even see Joker 2. Socks, what are we talking about then, Socks? Joker 2 gets voted off the island.
I saw Madam Web.
I watched Joker 2 on Twitter.
You are the weakest link.
I watched it on Twitter.
I saw Madam Web, but I didn't think it was as bad as everybody was making it out to be. Like the movies.
You sound like my son, Rich.
Doesn't do anything for the Marvel universe, really, for us, because everybody's like, oh yeah, we're gonna see Spider-Man, or we're gonna see some form of Spider-Man in it, and
you
it's
got
like
some bootleg killer Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think Madam Web was that bad. I just think everybody was expecting one thing, and they got something totally different that didn't.
No, the problem is just like Sony just wants to do all these Spider-Man centered things, and since they can't use Spider-Man because they got to go through Disney in order to find a happy medium on how they want their Spider-Man movies to look. They just say, you know what? We don't want to deal with Disney. We don't want to have these meetings. We don't want to sit down with Bob Iger, Kevin Feige, and sit here and talk about our ideas for what to do with our characters. We got a whole ton of Spider-Man people, Spider-Man characters, and Rogues Gallery guys that we can use and do solo films about. And it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Spider-Man is just as popular, so why wouldn't the other people be popular? Obviously, there's not enough nerds in the building to kind of understand, like, yo, bro, you can't just be out here making Spider-Man movies with Spider-Man villains and no Spider-Man. Venom, okay, you can get away with that. I'll give you that. Yeah. But all that other stuff, bro, like, cut it out. Like, Madam Web, no, that's not gonna, like, how are you not gonna, like, give, even if you showed Peter Parker in the womb of a damn sound ultrasound.
You would have
been all right.
Sony presents Shocker.
Yeah, like
we'll feature film
movie, dog. Like,
the good news is no matter what,
the Lizard. Come on, bro. Like, who's gonna watch this Lizard? The
good news is it's only an hour and 50 minutes.
Well, yeah, you can't tell. They had to cut all the story that they had already for that movie. They had anticipations of using Tom Holland. He was in what was it? The artwork that they were doing. Yeah. Like, he was they were all in that storyboard. They had to cut all that stuff out. Even the Andrew Garfield stuff. Andrew Garfield, they don't want to do it last minute. Or he was presented it and didn't want to do it.
Wow.
Madam Web was a very high low for the Sony universe.
Yeah. Like, it had every opportunity to be the Spider-Man version of Terminator. That's what they were trying to go for.
Yeah.
And they just bricked.
It did. It bricked. All right, guys. I think we talked about everything that I wanted to talk about today on the show. We're forgetting.
Damn. Come on, Speedy. You ain't talking about Gundam, bro.
But, I was high on my 80s comeback. We had the Voltron movie. We talked about the He-Man. Then the Mets dropped the ball in the pennant race. And but now the Gundam
I just want to touch on Gundam.
I started watching it because of you, Rich, because you were like, "Yo, the Gundam show is actually pretty good." But when I first looked at it, I was like, "Yo, what's up with these Dreamcast graphics, bro?"
Yeah, it definitely looks like PS5.
It looked like I was playing Shenmue again.
But I kind of like it for that though, because honestly, to see the progression of an animation for Gundam from the OG to now, like, it's cool to see it. And it's also cool to see a different storyline too, because we always see the Federation side of everything.
Right.
And this time you get to see the Zakus and them fight against the Gundam. So you see the story through the Zaku side of everything.
Yeah.
And And I mean, they touch on the new types, they touch on stuff.
Right.
I do want to say I understand what they were trying to do. I like the animation part of it, but
You watched the whole thing. I haven't finished it yet.
The show really didn't do it for me though.
Copy.
Like, it's just I wanted more. I wanted more of a backstory because when you go into the Gundams, like you want to see the RX-78 or one of them. Like that's the Gundam thing. But
in the show it's just murking everybody.
Yeah, and in this one, you
it's
can
like a
see the other side, and this one's killing everybody, and you're just kind of like, damn, like the Gundams are the bad guys in this one for a little bit.
Well, everyone's the hero from their point of view, you know.
Exactly. But I like how they do that. It's like you kind of question it. It's like, damn, this whole time we've seen it from the other side where the Gundams are the good guys, and this time the Gundams are the bad guys. But in the end, you see how it kind of comes back around to where the Gundams are the quote unquote good guys. I'm not going to say exactly what happens or anything, but I like what they tried to do with it. Even with that though, I wanted a little bit more of a backstory on the Gundam, more on the types, more on how, humankind is supposed to keep on evolving.
I don't think it was that show,
Yeah, but they touch on it a little bit, but they only touch on it in the last like 2 episodes. They talk when they talk about it. I wanted a little bit more of a backstories on the Gundams.
Well, I mean, the Gundams were. If you watch the original Gundam, that's the backstory. That's how it was made.
I understand, but like the pilot that in the Gundam,
that's the Amamura is the main pilot of the Gundam at that time. That's the story,
I'm a Hiro Yui guy, but okay.
Watch
I'm all about Hiro Yui.
I'm a Hiro Yui. Dual Maxwell.
Gundam Wing is my favorite series for Gundam. The other ones are good too, but Gundam Wing is my favorite.
Gundam is very Apocalypse Now meets big robots. You know what I mean?
I figure you love them because you love Voltron. You love that 80s
but it's
stuff.
like it's like the bad side of politics and war with big robots. That's Gundam. You know what I mean?
Speed's been arguing for Robotech for years.
Well, now the original guys that the companies that own Macross, they came up with an agreement with the Robotech people, and they're actually coming out the Macross stuff, which is not related to Robotech, but it was the original first part of the Japanese story that they used for Robotech. They've been coming out in stages throughout in Europe and North America and South America. Right now, the final stage was in Canada. So now you can actually stream all those Macross shows on Disney Plus right now in Canada. Through the Star, I think the Star part of it.
Damn, Speedy paid for a VPN so he could watch Canada.
No, I've seen a lot of it already. But so there's already a video game that's already been released called Macross. Is a shooting game, so like a R-type style kind of game, and they have a North America release date at the end of December. And a lot of us people who are fans of Macross, we believe that the final stage of the release, finally, all those shows are going to hit Disney Plus in December to coincide with the video game release.
I will tell you something about video game. My whole feed has been filled with Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball doing it big because you can like
Sparking Zero.
It's fire. Sparking Zero. so many.
Actually, that's a good segue too. But just to keep on going with the Dragon Ball Z thing, the Dragon Ball Daime, or however you say
Daime, whatever it is.
Daime, yeah. The first episode dropped on Netflix, and I actually watched it today.
There's two of them up.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I only saw one. Let me see if the other one's on there.
There's two of them up now because I started watching.
But the beginning of it is so apparently Daime is supposed to be.
It's like the retelling of GT.
But
in this new universe, super universe.
Super universe, exactly. And they kind of, it's still kind of the same thing. What they do is, for the people that aren't familiar with GT, in the beginning of it, the first episode, there's somebody that comes and grabs the Dragon Balls and wishes that Goku turns out to be a kid again, so that they don't have to worry about him. but it ends up turning out in this one, it's not just Goku. They actually take all the characters. The bad guy in this one, what he does is he wishes for all the characters to be kids, and the kids, which is Trunks and Goten, he wishes for Trunks and Goten to be babies. So that was just at the end of the first episode. So it's already different from GT,
right?
In that sense. So I'm actually excited to see where this one goes, because I was a big Dragon Ball head. I watched the Japanese version of GT.
Yeah. And this is a prequel to Super. So anybody who's deep in Super, this is a prequel to that. And I kind of wish they would have came out with this before they came out with Super. But I guess we'll find out why.
Bruh, I just went to my PlayStation store.
Yeah.
They have Dino Crisis remastered.
Dino Crisis remastered? Oh, man.
For free.
For free?
Yeah, I just downloaded it.
That's no fun without no
laser,
without a gun.
Still back in the day.
Yeah, it was. People were lining up. People were lining up, throwing quarters. I got next, bro.
Oh man.
No, I'm talking about Dino Crisis Capcom. You're talking about Time Crisis.
Oh, there's Dino Crisis. Yeah.
Dino Crisis is like Resident Evil with dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was no gun involved.
There was no gun involved in that one? I don't remember.
There was a gun involved. Wait a minute. I'm thinking of Dino Crisis as like House of the Dead.
Time Crisis, bro.
Yeah, so I thought it was like I thought it was like House of the Dead. Too.
Are you taking me off guard now? Now I feel like a loser.
Me too. Don't worry.
I've been talking.
I don't know why I immediately started thinking of Turok when you said Dino Crisis.
I mean,
yeah. Oh, I do remember Dino Crisis. Yeah, I'm looking it up now.
It was like,
I do remember this.
It was like the Resident Evil meets Jurassic Park.
Okay, I definitely rented this a couple of times. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I never played this one.
Yeah, I remember this game. I definitely played it. I rented it a few times. Speaking of Crisis, I'm one of the few people who watched all of the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths animated movies. Do not watch them.
I'm too late. I already watched the second one. I gotta finish it now.
Yeah, third one is out right now on HBO Max.
I might as well just let the pain continue.
They had some great moments in it, and some great Batman moments, and some great Joker moments. The third one is better than a lot of the other two, and there's some good moments in it. So it's worth watching if you've already invested. But I'm going to spoil it. It is what it is. I'm not going to spoil it in depth, but like they basically come to a conclusion like, we got to type all these universes.
Well, that's the whole point of that was the whole point of doing the story of Crisis.
There's too many universes, and they're kind of like, we're going to tie it all up into one universe. And I was like, well, finally someone's going away from the multiverse to tie one thing into one universe. And we'll see what they do with it. They've already did a new 52 clearly with the animated series, but we'll see how this proceeds in the future. But also, I don't know if we talked about it last week, but they've casted the full Green Lantern. I don't know if did we talk about that last week?
We talked about that last week. Aaron Pierre.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right. Yeah. I think we hit everything we want to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much.
I got one more thing. It's just to touch on it real quick.
Go ahead, Rich.
I saw this and I just thought, there's some people that might be fans, but Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they got a season 2.
Okay.
And they actually got Billie Eilish rumor to be casted for Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Me and Tara got a new show to watch now.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Mm-hmm. That was a really great show. Highly recommend.
And I think Invincible has its premiere date.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Invincible season 3 will be premiering. I should have known this coming in, I guess. Clearly 2025. I'm looking at an article right now, and it's just like, what happened in the last season? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Invincible, I think it does have a date.
No
well, they
date?
dropped the trailer.
Ah, okay.
They
There's a trailer.
they definitely dropped the trailer. Hold on one second. Season 3 release date. I should have Googled that instead.
Why you do
It's
that?
released. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You got the release date? Go ahead.
I do not have it. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. So, while you keep looking, Tarek, let Joey and Rich say goodbye. Let everyone know who's listening to the audio version of this, Joey, how they can follow you, sir.
Tap in with me on the socials at Joey Franchise or at Franchise on Film to get more stuff like this.
Yeah, Mr. Rich Ortiz.
Richie_Ortiz on Twitch, Kick, Instagram, BlackPeopleMeetDowns.com, Christian Mingle. And Socks actually just said that Invincible Season 3 is going to be February 2025.
February 6, 2025 is the release date. Thank you, Socks. You're a real one.
And Mr. Tarek Lewis, let everyone know how they can follow you, sir.
You can follow me on my name is Tarek on Instagram and YouTube, where I will also not have proper release dates.
Of course, you can follow me of my DJ life if you wish to do so at DJ Speedy JR. Of course, follow the show on Instagram, Geek Culture Congress, 3 words put together for Instagram, and of course, our home of the Geek Culture Congress Podcast Live, Speedy's Multiverse YouTube channel. That's Speedy's Multiverse on YouTube, and of course, we're on Facebook too. If you just enjoy Facebook more, we're on there too as well. All right, have a good one. Be safe, everyone. Of course, you want to consume us as audio podcast, by all means, look for the Geek Culture Congress Podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you so much to Podcast Radio for having us as well, and you guys have a good rest of your week. Next week, more Agatha, more Penguin, more crazy comic book movie show news. Whatever we
and
can
more
find
Dragon Ball Daimi.
I thought you were about to say something else. I'm like, yo, you gotta relax.
You gotta.
Or Dragon Ball dead.
Goodbye, y'all.
Or Dragon Ball Z. You gotta calm down.
We got
you gotta
Dragon
relax.
Ball Daimi.
It's night time. Goodbye.